Welcome to the Education in Building Section J course for Energy Efficiency, Part 1. I'm David Lenkich, and I'm very happy to be presenting what we think is an engaging, informative, and comprehensive training course. This course will help you develop all the skills you'll need to conduct a Section J energy efficiency assessment. So what are those skills that we're going to learn? Well, did you know that the National Construction Code defines over 10 different building classes? They have different requirements too, so you need to be able to identify and distinguish between those classes. Did you also know that even with the same building class, there are various methods to achieve Section J compliance? Well, you'll learn the primary method of following the deemed to satisfy provisions. And once you know how the deemed to satisfy provisions work to form a compliance solution for Section J, you'll learn how to use them to assess a building for thermal efficiency. Well, this course isn't all about information though. We want you to gain some practical experience. So to do so, we'll conduct a full Section J assessment on an office with an attached warehouse throughout our course. And finally, once you've conducted a Section J assessment, how should you present that assessment in a report? You'll learn what information to include and how to structure the report to be professional and easy to read. So let's discuss the scope of our course. Now you may be wondering, currently some states are in the process of changing from the National Construction Code version 2019 to National Construction Code version 2022. So in this course, which version of the code will we be looking at? Well, we're going to focus on the 2022 NCC, but we'll also be able to cover the requirements for the 2019 NCC. So it doesn't matter which state you're in or what stage your state is at in adopting the 2022 NCC, this course will help you conduct a Section J assessment. Now, what is the main difference between the 2019 NCC Volume 1 and 2022 NCC Volume 1? Well, most of those changes pertain to sole occupancy units. So we'll first learn the foundational knowledge of Section J assessments in Part 1 of this course, and then we'll discuss how to assess sole occupancy units in Part 2. I did mention that there are multiple methods of achieving Section J compliance. Now, these are verification methods found in the NCC. If you're interested in learning about them, what we cover in this course will serve as a great foundation for you, but we're not going to delve into the details of these verification methods. That's a more advanced topic for another time. So how will this course be structured? Well, the course will be divided into 5 modules. In our first module, we'll discuss the different building classes and how to distinguish between them. In our second module, we'll see how the deemed to satisfy provisions meet the performance requirements of Section J, J1P1 to J1P4. And next we have the main module in our course. We'll use our example office building to progress through Section J4 for building fabric. In our fourth module, we'll discuss sections J5 to J9 and understand what our obligations are as an assessor conducting a Section J assessment. In our final module, we'll take what we've learned and help you develop your own Section J report template that you'll be able to start using right away. After this, you'll answer some questions in an online quiz to demonstrate the skills you've learned throughout the course. Now, what is your motivation for doing this course? You may be wondering, how will I benefit from doing this course? Well, what if you're a thermal performance assessor? Imagine this scenario. One of your clients, an architect who regularly sends you residential work to assess, has a new shopping complex they'd like you to look at for Section J. Now, if you don't know how to conduct a Section J assessment, how would you feel about asking your client to send their work to a competitor? Wouldn't it be great if you could provide that service for yourself? There's also some data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics that you might find interesting. So in the last 12 months, there has been an approximate of $67 billion worth of non-residential construction projects approved in Australia. Now that's a little less than the $88 billion of residential construction work. But if your business is currently only providing energy efficiency services to one half of this market, then you have some opportunities to expand your business. So how could you benefit from this course if you were a certifier? Well, have you ever looked at an energy efficiency report and felt it was a little bit unclear about how the outcomes were reached? All of these reports look completely different from different companies. So would you like a bit more insight into how these results are calculated in practice? Or have you ever struggled to communicate to your client why certain energy efficiency measures are necessary? Well, this course will definitely assist you. And how could you benefit from this course as an architect? Well, have you ever had to do a design revision because of some little clause in the National Construction Code that you weren't aware of? Or have you had your energy efficiency consultant ask for some significant design changes to a project? Being aware of the energy efficiency requirements in Volume 1 will help you streamline your design process and avoid these revisions. So, have I convinced you? Are you ready to start your Section J course? Or if so, allocate some time in your schedule and we'll talk again in our first module.